G'day prospectors, Tony from Gold Talk Leonora. Fighting flies. Don't forget, you need the perseverance of a bushfly out here if you want to make it. So let's see, we had a little breakdown on Tiny, and we just redid all the motors on him, and all brand new blowers, one to each box. Happy days until that motor decided to shit itself. So we got them from a company in Perth called Timbercon, and I must say, I rang them up, spoke with the boss, and that was 2 days ago, and on the back of the truck's the new motor for me to fit. So that's what I'm about to do. Unfortunately, we've got rain coming this afternoon. That's life, and we will deal with it. So just instead of a short video today, and I thought I'd just show you the current work site. Here we are at Hillview, not to be confused with Hillsong, and we've sort of just started the dry blowing through here, and we're getting some economic grade, so we'll just keep going, and we have a massive bloody area to do, assuming it keeps going. I mean, things cut in and cut out, but I bet my left nut this is a big one, right the way down here through those trees and all up through here. We've got to basically go up to the top of that hill, hopefully up there. Certainly got to come forward a little bit. That's where we're still picking up tiny shiny up through there, but we don't know how far that'll go. And then over here, was it yesterday or the day before, because we've got rain coming, I just wanted to start stockpiling a bit of dirt. And after I finish the vid, that's what I'll be doing, sitting on teaspoons and stockpiling dirt. What I find is, because let's say we've got 10 mil, maybe 20, if I leave the ground like that and water goes on it, 20 mil, it's probably going to take 2-3 weeks for it to dry. Whereas if I've already stockpiled it, what happens is you'll get a, I don't know, 1 inch to 3 inch, 4 inch crust of wet dirt on the outside, but everything inside will be dry. Sort of, kinda, in principle, that's how it works. So I prefer just to try and stockpile a bit of dirt before a bit of rain, and that way I can get back to work quicker while I'm waiting for the rest of the dirt to dry out. And this is a great little spot. Look, it's shallow as. There's like a little kiddie's wading pool. There's, you can see all the inclusions, all the courts, everything else. That's transported material. But down to the cap, I've only got about 200, 300 mil, something like that. But I don't need any more. If you sort of keep in mind, I'm not going for 10-ounce nuggets. That'd be nice, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about little bits of tiny shiny, and that's how we mostly make our money. So the main reason I brought you down here is just as a I don't know, another little section to the dry blowing vid I put up the other day, because I showed you one dry blowing heap. Oh, I think you're right up my nose there. So I showed you one dry blowing heap, and the point I was making is that dry blowing heaps mean absolutely nothing. One dry blowing heap or a couple of dry blowing heaps is just like you getting out of the car with a detector, having a bit for 20 minutes and seeing if there's any gold there. Okay, they're all over the gold fields of Western Australia, and they really don't mean a lot until you get a concentration of them. So if we have a look around here on Hillview, it might take a while to pick this up, but there's been a lot of things going on here. We've definitely had all through here down the side of the hill and around the back side of it, and I'm going to say 80s, maybe 90s of scraping. Further upslope, maybe 50 meters that way and right the way up, someone got in here with a dozer about 6-7 years ago, right, and dealt to it up there, and now I'm coming back again and dry blowing, hopefully, the lot. I mean, sample it, and work where the economy is, where the economics are taking you. But here's the thing, it's great that they've left this so you can see it. See all these mounds all here? I'll just walk through. This is where they're digging, classifying over this side. All these little mounds all over the place. This is an old-timers dry blowing patch. Okay, little mounds here, little mounds there that have been run over under the trees. Walking through mounds, 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 lots of mounds, whole bloody lot. All right. This dry blowing patch here goes right up to the top of the hill, and it would have been right over here, right over the edge, all down through these scrapes, because I can, where they've scraped in the 80s or 90s or something like that, you can make out the dry blowing heaps there as well. So there are several thousand dry blowing heaps in this area, maybe covering, oh, bucket if I know, a few hectares, something like that. Right, and that is a dry blowing patch. The only reason why these poor buggers 100 years ago or 100, oh, hello, we're over here again. The only reason they were doing it is because they were getting gold. It's not bloody rocket science. So for there to be so much work done, it means that there was gold here. It begs the question, what kind of ground do I look for when I'm working with machinery? This is the kind of ground that I'm interested in. I showed, there's a video, and I wish I knew how to put a link up in the thingy, but there was one we did a little while back on Wild Creek, and that's not that far from here actually, and that's a big drainage channel that has been absolutely dealt to by the old timers, and I mean dealt to. Perfect. I know there'll be gold in there. Oh, and here's someone coming through. That's interesting, in a car. I know that there'll be gold there, and I'm reasonably confident that there'll be good gold here. Again, it's not going to be the 5-ounce pieces. It's not what I'm chasing. Okay, I'm chasing the little bits of tiny shiny that actually make you money in the long run. So I just thought I'd show you this. If I had machinery and I was looking for places to go to use a dry blower, this is the kind of country that I want. Something that every other bastard's had a go. Getting onto a virgin patch out in the middle of nowhere is absolutely possible. It's hard work, a little bit of luck, and it's certainly not repeatable. You'll have a good season and then best of luck to you for the next 3 or 4 or 5. But when you're working with machinery, they're not the kind of places you want to be. Unless, you know, let's say you picked up 100 ounces, something like that, maybe, in a tight concentrated area. But as a speculative thing, places like this where every man and his dog's been before is exactly the kind of ground that I will peg and I'll then sample and work. And there are many, 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 many places like this out there. Just got to know what to look for. Prospectors, I'm going to replace that motor and on little Tiny, and then I'm going to spend a couple of hours digging dirt, because I think about 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon she's going to come in and go whoompa all over us. Prospectors, you take care. I'll speak to you again soon.